bring in Dr. Jen Berman, psychotherapist, and you've counseled victims of domestic violence. Do her stories ring true?
No, and I desperately want to believe her. As someone who has been an advocate for victims of domestic violence, I want to believe what she's saying, but I just don't. It's so inconsistent. Her diary doesn't show that this is a woman who lived in fear. It doesn't explore a long history of this sort of cycle of violence. So I have a really hard time believing it. That combined with all of these lies she's told to cover up, it just is so hard to believe her.
Yeah, and the idea that I kind of take offense as a woman anytime she describes a sexual encounter, it's like it's degrading. And there were some very degrading things that were said during the phone sex call and the texting. But is it possible, I think I know the answer to this question, to experience degrading sex and enjoy it a heck of a lot, Dr. Jen?
Absolutely, and that's what the book Shades of Grey is all about, and it's one of the most popular books on the market right now. And I think that that kind of sex has become very mainstream. I have a show called The Love and Sex Show with Dr. Jen on Cosmo Radio. People call in all the time. They talk about bondage. They talk about rough sex. And these are people behind white picket fences. This has become very mainstream, and I think that she's rewriting history now.
That's an interesting way to put it. Dave Hall, Dr. Jen Berman, psychotherapist. Is a blackout during a traumatic event like a killing something that exists in real life? I've blacked out, but that was before I got sober almost 18 years ago, and so alcohol was involved.
Okay, this is a different kind of blackout. And look, I will say this. It is absolutely possible when a person experiences trauma, it is a known fact in psychology that they can experience memory loss. That said, this is someone who she committed a crime. She admits she stabbed him 29 times. She shot him in the head. She slit his throat. Absolutely, that qualifies as a trauma. But then she goes and she drives and she goes to kiss someone else because, as she put it, that she wanted to cover up. So she knew she did this. So she had to have some memory of doing it. So to me, this is a sign of someone who has a poorly developed conscience that just got caught in a lie and then went to cover it up.
The prosecution exposed Jodi's personal diary to try and prove she killed Travis out of jealous rage. In a dramatic moment, Prosecutor Martinez referred to a journal entry